The 5 best lunches to be able to lose your belly fat. Over the last decade, I have practiced one thing that has allowed me to consistently see results, and then the second thing I do is eating these foods here that have massive benefit to be able to lose your belly fat. The first thing that I do that has allowed me to see the success I have is, number one, I practice intermittent fasting. So I basically will skip my breakfast. Then the second important thing I do is I make sure that my lunch is high protein. So the intermittent fasting will help me with maintaining a caloric deficit, which is important to lose your belly fat, but these high protein meals carry 3 important factors. They're easy, they're enjoyable, and they're repeatable. And it allows you to do this for the rest of your life. You're not gonna lose your belly fat in a week or in a month. It's going to be by doing it consistently over the next couple of months. And these foods here will show you how to do that. They're all over 50 grams of protein, which will help you build muscle. It will boost your metabolism, and it will also keep you fuller for longer, helping you stay in a caloric deficit. These are the same foods that I give to my clients. So watch this video to the very end so you can see how to prepare and how to use these 5 best lunches in your entire diet so you can also lose your belly fat. Let's not waste any time. Let's move on into meal number 1. Meal number 1 is a lunch I absolutely love for a few reasons. It is low carb, low fat, and very high protein. It's something you can take on the go. So the ingredients we're gonna need is also very simple. 2 bell peppers, 300 grams of 97% lean ground beef, and some onions, and some bolognese. Let's get started. Cool. So, and while that warms up, so we're going to use just the spray, right? It's low calorie, and this way we're not wasting any of our calories. Just so it doesn't stick, and that's all you need. And we'll start off with adding some onions that will get to a brown color. Yep, so we're gonna get the onions caramelized first. And while the onion is caramelizing, we want to remove the crown of the bell pepper and the insides, just so we have the base inside ready to go. And then we just want to cut the insides off. Nice and easy. Now we have 2 empty bases of the bell pepper. So, while this is still caramelizing to the side, I'm gonna add the lean ground beef. And this is a pro tip. A lot of the meals today you'll see consists of a lot of lean ground beef. So if you do decide to make 2 or 3 of all the recipes I'm about to show you, then you can cook your lean ground beef in bulk and then just use that. But usually when I'm on a competition prep, I like preparing all of my protein sources. And I know in terms of dieting, that's half of the battle done. Now let's mix these all together. And there we go, we're getting that flavor of the caramelized onion starting to mix with the lean ground beef. Lovely. Lean ground beef is ready. Now the next step is the hardest step. Take your bell pepper and fill it. And you want to pack that in there. Beautiful. And we're going to use the air fryer to prepare it. I'm going to take the next one, fill that up. And what's cool is that the heat of the lean ground beef will cook the bell pepper from the inside. Perfect. Now we add this into the air fryer. So we're going to put this for 10 minutes. First we want to air fry. We'll have that at 180, and then we'll do it for 10 minutes. And this takes 15 minutes to prepare. 5 minutes with the lean ground beef, and then the 10 minutes of putting it into the air fryer. But it's something that you can create and make it in even less if you meal prep the lean ground beef. The macros for this beautiful meal comes out to 467 calories. That is 25.8 grams of carbs, 12.6 grams of fat, and 67.7 grams of protein. Now, when you're preparing your lean ground beef, you can add bolognese and you can add any different sauce that you like just to give the lean ground beef some spice. And what I've added on here is some Pernod sauce just to give it a little bit more flavor, and that's 2 of these. And you can even make more just to add a little bit more volume. But that's meal number 1, 15 easy minutes for a lunch, and you want to keep it low carb. This is for those guys who are eating about 100 to 150 grams of carbs every meal. Let's move on into meal number 2. Meal number 2 is something that I will always compile, especially as a lunch, that fits my ERE method. Easy, repeatable, enjoyable, and the macros for this are fantastic. So we have the ingredients here. Let's get started. We're going to make Dr. Mike's English mac. Let's get started. So here we have 250 grams of beef, and with any burger, the sauce, the actual sauce, is actually getting a good lean ground beef, right? One that allows you to hit your protein but save yourself on the fats. So we're going to take this lean ground beef here, spice it well. We're gonna use some seasonal, and then we're gonna use some garlic steak seasoning. Mix it well. And now we're gonna make the patty. Cool. 2 perfect patties. We now have 250 grams of lean ground beef into 2 English-sized muffin patties. Now we're going to use the English muffins. Use them for size verification. Look at that, perfect. And now, we just cut it so that when the time comes to toast them, they're ready. English muffin number 2, right in the middle. And what I personally, like taste-wise, what I love about English muffin is the thickness and the quality of the bread. Right. So, we want to use a lower temperature so that we get the burger to cook all the way through. Right. Gonna put that on there, and while that prepares, let's also get our garnishes ready. Today, for sure, we need some onions. So we have our onions that we're gonna use. And then let's get the tomatoes ready. So we're gonna also use tomatoes, and you can use any garnish that you like. And then I like using this lettuce. We have all the base ingredients ready. So, a quick recap of all the ingredients. I'm gonna use 2 cheese, and this is gonna be the Laughing Cow cheese that is light cream, and this is low fat. We have our lettuce here, 2 English muffins, onions, some tomatoes, and we'll also be using chopped pickles. So now I will take the onions, and then later on, I'm gonna toast the buns. So the burgers are ready. Gonna spread the cheese. I like it nice and thick on that nice toasty bread. And this is amazing if you're ever feeling like you've been on your diet for a long time. This will just give you that mental break, and it still hits your macros. What I also love about this particular meal is the thickness of the bun, so you really do get a lot of protein per bite. And adding the caramelized onion. And now you can just add whichever garnishes you like. So we're going to use 50% reduced sugar. We're gonna add some tomatoes. And then finally, if you're a pickles fan, weird enough, I don't know, when I was younger, I was never a pickles fan, but now I am. And that is Dr. Mike's English muffin burger. Dr. Mike's English mac comes to a whopping 577 calories for both. So half the calories for one of them, and that comes out to 52 grams of carbs, 13.8 grams of fat, and 64.9 grams of protein. So again, plus 50 grams of protein in these 2 meals. And what I love about this is that if you're ever feeling like you're craving for a food or you want a burger, you can make this home version. The big difference here is that you're making the patty yourself. You're getting so much more meat and protein per bite, and again, it tastes like a cheat meal. So I highly recommend this. And what I like about it too is you can pack it in your lunch, take it with you to work, take it with you anywhere. I was eating this in Dubai on holiday, right? Just instead of eating out. So give this a go, very easy to make. Let's move on into meal number 3. Next meal is called a Big Mac taco. It's also very easy to make. And the final one's using lean ground beef as a lunch, right? So when I made this series, I wanted it quick and on the go. And by the way, if you guys want me to turn this entire video series of the 5 best lunches, snacks, dinners, and breakfasts, and make it an entire series, and then create a PDF with the recipes and all of that, leave the video the gentle thumbs up, and then comment down below, Dr. Mike, create the PDF. If you have recipe suggestions that you'd like to see it, let me know in the comments. And who knows, you may even just come out with a free cookbook so you don't have to go and spend it somewhere else, and you have a full video of how to make it and all the macros. Now, the primary ingredient again is gonna be lean ground beef. And for those of you, if you need to use an eye test, the more red and the less white streaks you see in your lean ground beef, the leaner it is, right? So the white streaks are usually fat. So the more red it is, the leaner it is, right? We will mix and spice our lean ground beef, right? To make our Big Mac taco. We're going to add a bit of garlic seasoning steak, whole seasoning, just a little bit of that. And now we mix. Now, you'll see how easy this meal is to make. We're gonna take 2 low carb wraps. So this is low carb wrap number 1. And this is very important with the way we make it and the style we're about to use. So I'm just gonna have the lean ground beef, and all you need to do, slap it on here. But we are gonna spread this out as nice and thin as we can. And remember that when you're cooking it, the beef is gonna shrink just because it's gonna lose a bit of moisture. Don't be afraid to separate it well, almost like a pizza. And we're gonna do the same thing. And this is so quick and easy, guys. If you're on the go, like, there's no excuse. And literally, the hardest part is done. Now, we cook it. So, let's take the first one. Look at that. Beautiful. Perfectly cooked. That's how we want it. And while that's preparing, the second one, we can now start adding the garnishes that we like, right? A bit of onions, right? We're gonna add some light mayo, tomato sauce. While the other side cooks, now I'm gonna add pickles, some tomatoes. Are you hearing that crunch? And then the second one here. Add a bit of Peronaise, which is kind of like that special sauce that they use in a Big Mac. And here we have our low carb Big Mac taco. 300 calories a piece, so 600 calories in total on the plate that you're seeing in front of you. The total macros come out to be 28.2 grams of carbs, 19.6 grams of fat, and 63.7 grams of protein. Again, it's satisfying all those things that fall in the ERE method, and very, very easy to prepare. But also look at that, just listen to the crunch that you're going to get from it. It's going to be very, very enjoyable. Also super high protein. That's why I say to people it's easy to get 50 grams and above. Let's move on to meal number 4. Meal number 4 is going to be chicken tenders. So you can make a lot of this. You can maybe have this as a snack when you're watching movies with your family, and as a lunch, and very macro friendly. So here we have 250 grams of chicken breast, and we're gonna cut this well. Just gonna cut in the middle here. And just cutting the chicken breast into a few pieces here. Lovely. Now we have our chicken breast cut. The next thing we're gonna need is the rice cake. And we're gonna take 2 rice cakes to make our batter. Now, the rice cakes I'm using is sour cream, black pepper, and rice cakes, just for a little extra flavor. So now, I'm just gonna take 2, and then just add it to your food processor or to your blender. We'll add that in here. Looks good to me, but I'm gonna add a bit of spice in here. Okay, so now we have the batter. Okay, so let's take our chicken breast, and you know what, I'm gonna spice it right here. So now that this is well spiced, I will add it here, and I'm gonna break the whole egg. Now we're gonna mix well. Take our chicken strips, and then just spraying into the air fryer just so they don't stick. What I like about this as well is that the rice cakes already have flavor to it. Chicken tenders are a go, and into both air fryers. We will sync, and then we want that in there for, we want to air fry it 180 degrees, and then we'll start it for, let's do 12 minutes. And they are ready. So our chicken tenders are done. What I like about these is that you can quickly prepare them and then throw them into the air fryer, go away for a couple of minutes, and come back and something to eat. Very, very high protein, low carb. With that being said, the macros here, 472 calories, which comes to a total of 14.4 grams of carbohydrates, 14.5 grams of fat, and then for protein at 65.7. Now, if you want to save yourself on the fats, you can actually just use the egg whites, right? If you just want to have the egg whites to be able to get the batter over it. But what an amazing snack or lunch to have. High protein, keeping your carbs low, and if you have a little bit of fats around. But let's move on into the final meal. And the final one is a healthy chicken and rice bowl. Let's get straight into it. So here we have our chicken breast at 250 grams, and we're just gonna prepare that already. Just season the chicken breast. And while we make the chicken breast, we will prepare the salad. Okay, so now we have all the ingredients to our chicken and rice bowl. So our base will be the iceberg lettuce as our base. Then we're going to add the rice, and this is 50 grams of uncooked rice, right? And we're just gonna add this here to the base of the salad as our carb source. And now we add all our other ingredients. And the final meal is our chicken and rice salad bowl. Here we have 475 calories, 40 grams of carbs, 6.5 grams of fat, and 60 grams of protein. This is a giant bowl of micronutrients and macronutrients. You're hitting your protein, it's a good source of carbs, and you'll also be feeling full. But I added this meal here just to give you some more variety and to make your salads a little bit more fun. I'll leave this one here. Let me show you guys what all the meals look like. These are my top 5 lunches. All of these meals you're seeing in front of you have a minimum of 50 grams of protein, which is gonna help you with building muscle. It's gonna make you feel full, and it's also going to help with boosting your metabolism by increasing your thermic effect of food, which is the fancy way of saying it will take your body more work to break down that protein. What I also like about it is that it's fun. It's familiar. You're eating a taco wrap. You're having your burger. You're also having fun snacks with a bell pepper. And then finally, you're keeping it classic with a chicken and rice bowl, but just adding veggies here that will make it feel healthy. This reminds me of like a poke bowl, but with chicken breast instead. You can go for salmon if you like. And then this one is a very low carb chicken tenders meal that you can have. And you can cook a bunch of this and take it with you on the go. All of these you can put in a container and then take it with you to work. So I was thinking about the CEOs. I was thinking about the guys who have to go to their office. I was thinking about all my clients, and you guys can text me if you guys want me to make this adjustment for you in your plan. But I was just thinking of all of you guys. So again, I'll leave the video here. If you want me to make this a series, to put it into a PDF that will show you the ingredients, show you the macros, and then quickly to click on a link that will take you to the portion where they're making this food, leave the video the gentle thumbs up and comment down below, Dr. Mike, make the PDF. When it's created, come back to the video, and I'm gonna put it in the description of the video once the videos are done if you guys want that. But I'll leave it here.